We live?
We are live.
Charlemagne. So in the eternal words of Tupac Shakur, Breezy, goldfish are never over. Nah, but hi there.
And for those watching on YouTube, grown men can play dress up. Like I said I would.
Tone ass ugly as fucking here, y'all. Don't listen to this nigga.
Mm-hmm.
This nigga about stiff as hell in this chair.
For the duration of this episode, we will be calling Anonymous Principal Farrier.
Farrier?
Yes.
Damn.
All right.
Hello,
everybody.
call this nigga Dr. Jackal and Mr. Hyde.
Welcome back to the Faculty Lounge podcast, man. This is episode number 70.
Yeah.
Hey.
My name is John J. We got Anonymous here.
Yes, I'm here.
AKA Principal Farrier. We got TCB, AKA 2 Cup Breezy in the house.
We got 2 waters today. 2 water Breezy.
Still 2 cups.
Box Waters, Betsy DeVos. It's a different conversation. But we have a very special invited guest. He's a part-time magician, part-time musician, part-time thugger, part-time lover. The host of Blurred Dot Radio, and a heck of a nice guy if you get to know him a little bit. Mike Stidham.
Oh, hey. How's it going?
Welcome to the show.
Hey.
Thank you. That was a good intro. You know, people on my show don't know that it's called Blurred Dot Radio.
Oh, wow.
Because it's a stupid name. I regret it. But I'm stuck with it now. It's on
We're
business
here,
cards.
I made it a point to figure out what the hell Blurred Dot meant.
Oh, what does
yeah.
it mean?
So we came from, I started here at Q4.
Yep.
I don't even remember what year it was, 2014 on Ed Perkins' show. Shout out to Ed Perkins. Black Dot Radio, which airs every Monday from 7 to 9.
Mm-hmm.
And so I wanted to keep the dot to honor my radio big brother, Eb. And I came up with Blurred Dot Radio. And I was like, well, we're probably, because it was me and my guy Steve. Shout out to Steve. Me and Steve's entire friendship revolves around getting drunk together. So we were like, we're just going to get drunk and talk about geeky shit. So instead of it being BLERD, I put a U in it, like blur.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I thought it was creative. It turns out it's just confusing.
So, so Mike, you are from Cleveland.
I am. Born and raised.
How do you end up in Chicago?
I went to a school
Cool.
called the School of the Art Institute of Chicago.
Oh.
I met some very nice people.
How much money do you owe?
I don't know. I don't know, and I don't look into it. That's what I keep in the closet. Like
The
Michael
Faculty
Jackson.
Lounge is sponsored by Fannie Mae and Associates.
Shit. But shouts out to the Chicago Sinfonietta.
Oh yeah. You got
we
news.
actually got sponsored by the Chicago Sinfonietta.
Yeah.
What's
We
Chicago
got,
Sinfonietta?
Oh man, we got tickets.
All right.
We are going to the show tomorrow.
Yes.
So we thought we was going today because this nigga got on this suit.
Oh,
But
damn.
Teacher was about to take you on a field trip.
right.
Old man River over here wanted to throw his fine grays on.
Damn, it ain't
We
gonna
like-
stop.
Man, you about
Like,
to
where's
go
y'all
see.
suits?
That's
Hey,
what he
this
wore to the
started-
funeral for the death of Auto-Tune.
Hey, for y'all don't know.
Principal Farrier, everybody.
Oh
Man,
man.
y'all, wow.
Round of applause.
Yes.
Yeah, for y'all that don't know, this shit started about half an hour before I hit record.
Oh, it did.
His voice got hoarse from yelling at the students all afternoon on Friday.
Goddamn.
I told you to get your ass on the bus. Now, if you get off the bus again, I'm calling your mama, and you're going to have to sit in my office.
Little lean on me ass nigga.
Yeah.
Damn.
All right,
You
look,
smoke
look.
crack, don't you?
Before we let the roast continue, Tone, I want you to get into the Sinfonietta. But first, as I've been doing for the past couple weeks, because I have an urge. I know one day we're going to come in with a great story. And since we have a guest, we might just get that.
Okay.
How was your weeks? Did you do anything exciting? Did you get out of the box? Did you get into the box? Mike Stidham.
I did get into some box.
Yeah.
That happens about once a week.
All right.
I am dating a young lady who I will not shout out.
Ooh.
You know, maybe one day.
You acting like Jim Jones. The way he be acting to us, crazy.
You know, I've never watched.
I don't know. Yeah.
You don't mean
Of
Jim
course you don't
Jones,
know
the cult
Grandpa.
leader. You mean Jim Jones that was balling?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bullet.
Or that Jay-Z said, if that's balling, then what I'm doing can't be defined.
Yes.
Period.
No diss to Jim Jones because he can beat me
Period.
up.
He's the strongest man alive.
I believe it.
I'm sitting next to the strong
Oh,
man.
damn.
You wouldn't like me when I'm
I
angry.
did not see that
Tight
one
suit
coming.
jacket ass boy.
I did not
Right.
see that one coming at all. Damn. Wow.
Mike, anything to add about your exciting, spectacular week outside of getting into the box?
Did a lot of edibles.
Hey.
Edibles are nice.
Who just did a lot of edibles?
Mike Stidham.
Me. I did it.
The guy,
I did it yesterday.
the football player. He did all the edibles and he had a panic
no.
attack on the plane.
Yeah, that shit'll on a plane.
ooh,
What's wrong
yeah.
with you?
You should not do that on an
Yeah.
airplane. They
Who
gotta
was
turn
he?
the plane
Edibles
around.
Man, who was it?
I turn this plane around, your ass keep complaining.
Hold on.
That's the
Sheesh.
worst idea ever. Like, I can't go to sleep if I eat too much. If I'm on a plane where I could realistically die, like, no.
Man, I only like to do
screaming through the-
edibles where it's safe.
Yeah, no.
Like, man, you can have a freak out so easily.
Mm-hmm.
No, it was a basketball player. It was Deion Waiters.
Yeah.
Word, Deion Waiters.
Yeah.
He played for the Heat.
Right. I remember Deion Waiters. He came from some team, and I used to play with him on 2K.
That nigga needs more
He
friends.
failed me every time.
Yeah.
'Cause somebody should have been like, hey, man, don't eat all them
Yeah,
edibles. You're about to
bro.
get on the flight.
Yeah, and he missed. I mean, he missed the game against the Lakers. That's like.
What did you do while having these edibles, Mike Stidham?
Yeah, man.
I made a lot of art. I am in the Not Just Another Pretty Face show at Hyde Park, put on by Diaspora Rhythms. I was commissioned by a young man named Patrick McCoy, which is a joke because he's like 78. But yeah, I finished that work for once. I got something done on time. It is due next week. I'm already finished with it. The show is in February, so if you're listening, Not Just Another Pretty Face, come and do whatever people do at art shows. Because the art is already bought. It's not like you can buy it, but come look at it.
All right, Mike Stidham. So, Principal Ferrier has just wrapped up his national tour of the Burlington Coat Factory Suit Revival. They're more than great coats.
Almost choked on the goal.
Damn, man.
Anonymous, how was your week, man? You look festive
Man.
in your
So,
journey to play dress up.
Yeah, man. I feel good. My thoughts have been positive today.
That's
you know
good.
what I'm saying?
That's
I
good.
got I picked up an extra shift. I got to go to work tonight. So that's cool because it's the holiday season and holiday bucks are nice.
Yeah,
You know what
man.
I'm saying?
Them suits don't pay for themselves.
Nah, man.
Man, that dust from his suit got in my fucking eye. My shit over here.
I pulled it out. I made sure I ironed this suit yesterday,
You
man.
need to put that bitch in a bag and then put
That
it
shit was
on.
sitting in the front closet with the rest of the coats you forgot about.
Oh, shit.
It's like, here's the
Big Dusty.
So,
Big
Big
Dusty.
Dusty.
so, well, we are able to give away some tickets this week. That was cool.
I saw that
Absolutely.
on the
That's what
Instagram.
I did this week. I set up a little raffle.
Shout
you know
out
what
to
I'm saying?
Chicago Sinfonietta.
And
Appreciate
shouts
it.
out to the winner of the raffle, Annie. She whatchamacallit. She's
Shout out to Annie.
a cool person.
I looked at her Instagram. I don't trust her.
She's very Caucasian. I looked. I don't know if you all know this, but I actually follow you all. Like, I'll go and I'll
Yeah.
listen to the clips and listen to the show. And
So you actually
Man.
listen. So
I do.
one request, please like, comment, subscribe, and share. I got to tell you, like you vanilla, man.
On a laptop, Instagram doesn't let you share.
It does not.
Yeah.
Check out our YouTube page at youtube.com/facultylounge.
It is spelled Faculty Lounge.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
If you need help spelling that, ask an adult.
Ask Principal
So-
Ferrier.
So tomorrow, the Chicago Sinfonietta celebrates Diwali, the Festival of Lights in India.
I thought Diwali was a dance. I'm not gonna lie.
So
Like
it's the
Diwali, y'all just
festival
gonna be doing it in the aisles.
Wow.
when they do
Wow.
the
I thought it was a rapper.
That could be.
so
Well, Americans are uncultured.
Yeah.
so it's gonna be fun, you know.
We so
That's what we
ignorant.
trying to
Black
do.
People is
We
ignorant.
trying to bring some culture to the world straight from the Faculty Lounge.
Culture for the savages.
Yeah, man. So we
Is
trying
that the
to
one where they throw the colored powder?
yeah. It's the color festival.
So you know what I want to know?
The colored
The colored powder.
Somewhere,
You mean
somebody's turning.
blackface, shoe polish.
you mean multicultural powder?
Somebody's not gonna like this segment of this show.
We run around in multicultural powders. So you know what I want to know, principal? How does one go about buying chicken sandwiches out of someone's car?
Oh
I
man,
saw that too.
that was the best part of my week, man.
That's a good hustle.
Horrible week.
Tone, your thighs big as fuck, bro.
Damn.
His ass got on a bell-bottom suit.
I'm lightheaded.
And some
TCB.
Stacey Adams.
Disco stew.
Damn.
This nigga. got
Sideshow
these-
Bob, boy.
He got these fucking hams over here.
It's holiday season, man.
Where your handkerchief? His pocket ain't real.
Oh.
God.
It is real.
The fake pocket?
ain't
I got
never
a suit with
opened
a
it.
fake
He
pocket.
ain't never
I
rip
never
it.
opened it.
Oh,
Look,
mine is fake.
look. This is a real,
On camera.
Did you hear that on camera,
On
ladies
camera.
and gentlemen?
The
this is
evidence.
a real
You need a
actual
handkerchief,
pocket
though.
right here.
Last
Yeah,
week
you
we
do.
had such focus.
Boom.
What happened? What happened to
Man,
Hey,
you put a
y'all
black
focus.
man in
My
a
fault.
suit, you lose your mind.
Oh, the real. Y'all focused.
So
Y'all
look, bro.
focused on this damn suit.
Look, bro.
Popeye's chicken sandwich in the
Yeah,
You
oh,
buying
yes,
right? You
yes.
buying random chicken sandwich. That could have been something
So-
somebody made at home or bought from Checkers and wrapped in a Popeyes
Probably
wrap.
No,
better than that Popeye
so-
sandwich.
Whatchamacallit. So
Period.
I'm just standing out there putting the creamers where they go. You know what I'm saying? And old girl walk up, and then dude walk up like, why you buying a hot dog from a gas station? You got all this chicken in the car. And she's like, I don't want that shit. And I'm like, butting in, like, but it ain't no Popeye's chicken sandwich though.
We get in where I
Like-
fit in.
And she said, yes, they are.
Dun, dun.
And so I said, swallow God.
West
Swallow
Side.
guy right now.
Right.
Swallow God.
And yeah, I gave her $4, and she brought me a no drama, cage free Popeye's chicken sandwich.
Them chickens was in cages.
Right. I'm like, nigga.
Can we even
Popeye.
call them chickens?
Yeah,
technically?
They was
little dinosaurs.
Mhm. All right, so
That's a good hustle though. Like you know they're all sold out. So if you got them in the trunk,
Yeah.
it's like it's a drought.
bro, I will
What's a drought?
never
Here you go.
She
buy
brought
a chicken sandwich out of somebody's trunk.
I mean,
When you put it like
I'm
that, it
still
makes it
here.
sound dirty.
I got sandwiches in the trunk. You want extra mayo?
Man, she
Man,
had
you gotta
spicy
do what you
and
gotta
regular
do.
though.
Was it?
She-
You gotta do what you gotta do.
I
Yeah.
feel you.
She brought me a
You
regular
pull down
one
the
first,
thing, it's kinda
and then I
right
was like,
here.
"No, I need a spicy one." And she took the regular one back and brought me a spicy.
Did you tell her you
Yo.
play with dress up?
one.
That nigga was like,
Oh, he plays dress up. Oh. All right, TCB,
I feel good,
Two
man.
Cup Breezy,
"You're
WLC, the boss with the sauce.
facts."
How was your week?
It was great. It was great. It was a lot.
Yeah? Yeah, give us something. Give us something exciting. You've been busting moves out here.
We basketball is officially in session. We just had tryouts. Roster comes out Tuesday,
Mm-hmm.
so that's a good feeling. Went to the doctor. They pretty much said I need surgery on my meniscus and my ACL and my left knee, and I'm definitely gonna need an ACL and my surgery on my right knee.
Mm-hmm.
So moving around grandma. They really walked in. They were like, "How are you walking?" And I was like, "I pray a lot." Like
Look,
that is what
the
it
same
comes
way
down
my
to.
ancestors did. I just home.
Pretty much.
Wading in the
That's
water.
it. Just wade in the water. So that was that. We dropped a new collection. WLC dropped a new collection this week.
Yes, fire,
So
fire.
that was lit. Really crisp. Really clean.
You got godly whites and
I
farrier blacks.
Facts,
no, I
man.
ain't gonna say that because if I
Right.
say it, I gotta do it. I ain't gonna say that.
Yeah,
Mm-mm.
don't
say
say
it. Don't say it.
Don't say
Don't
it.
say it. So
Mhm.
that, and right now we're kind of just deciding like if we're gonna get my purse out of here. We're kinda
That's the ugliest purse I've seen. By the way.
smash my toiletry bag.
She just
Everybody
treated
chill.
it like the ugliest person
Chill.
ever.
That's a shaving
Um,
kit
I'm finna give it to Tone
with
with this
pink
fucking
lotion
shit.
in it.
With pink lotion. That college dorm barber bag.
Look like
Man, oh God.
a Uber black driver, boy.
Man, shit. Oh, God. Man, luxury driving.
Oh
that.
God.
Right now I'm kind of deciding like if I'm gonna push something for Black Friday. I got 3 pieces that I want to drop this month. 3 more pieces on top of the 6 we already just did. And then I wanted to do something for Christmas, or should I just jump straight to Black History Month? Like Black History Month is it's gonna be very intricate. It's a lot that needs to be done. So it's like, do I?
So
keep
I
the speed,
think
or
that
do I just
WLC should collaborate with Black Don't Stop
Yeah,
for the
I was thinking
Black
that.
History collection.
I'm down.
Yeah.
I'm down for the get down.
Yeah, I'm down for that too. Yeah.
No? Holla at me.
All right.
Mhm.
Your people need to talk to my people.
Okay. We are people in a room, and one of us has a suit on, so I guess he's my people.
There you go. He's your
Okay.
manager.
Oh
now.
yeah.
Manager, bodyguard, agent.
All right.
Right.
Yeah.
So my week was
This nigga shaking the goldfish like
yo man. Oh, let the suit fool you.
yes, well of God.
I don't know what they told you, Mike. You must have that necktie tied too tight. Oh. All right.
8 Mile bars.
So I had a interesting week. Well, not really. I bought Death Stranding. It's like controlling my life right now, but that's video games. I talk about that kind of stuff on Mike's show. But you know what? My son, for those of you that don't know, I don't have any biological children, but I do have a son. So I don't know anything about the joys of childbirth. I don't know anything about first steps. I don't know anything about changing shitty diapers. I don't know anything about
You skipped
3
over the
a.m.
hard part.
feedings, right? So I
Let's,
feel like in some kind of way, for now, I found a cheat code. But
Tell everybody what your son's name is.
my son, I'm not going to say his name.
No, you tell him what you call him. You
Oh,
don't
I call him Boy.
Right.
Boy.
Bird box action.
Thank you.
You feel me? So,
Boy.
all right, my son has an interest in being a rapper now.
That's interesting.
That is interesting. That is interesting, right?
It's cold as
Es-
a hole in here.
especially
Let me
when
get
you
your
have
blazer.
to-
I took all my shirt off because it was
Let me get your.
Let me
getting
get your
hot.
blazer.
a whole sweat towel.
Especially when you figure out your son can't rap, right?
Oh.
So,
Hey man, it's something to be cultivated.
exactly. That's
I
what I'm
mean, here's
saying.
the thing, right?
It's brand new.
I mean,
so,
Nas didn't need to be cultivated, though.
there you go. There you go. So,
Nas was 15 rapping.
I'm
with
putting him
him.
through rap school. So, yesterday,
like rhythm
Principal
and flow.
Farrier?
Like rhythm
Principal
and
Farrier?
flow.
Hey,
Alright.
hey, calm down, Teach. So I took him through rap school. We rode around yesterday. We listened to a lot of lyrical MCs and just broke down verses. Now this is him taking the initiative. He asked me, "Who is Royce the 5'9"?" This is an 11-year-old boy.
Okay.
He asked me, "Who is Royce the 5'9"?
Did
So
you
we
play
was-
Scary Movie?
No, I played Book of Ryan.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I played Caterpillar for him. I played a bunch of different stuff. That's not the point. But the point is, I feel good about this young man delving into this because it's like the past is repeating itself. So I play all of these dude rappers. I ended up playing LaKaylee and Rhapsody. And I was like, I am doing my part for the hip hop.
Yeah, man.
This
Gotta play
young
Tierra
man is going to listen to these women that are dope MCs, and then he's going to turn on little whoever the fuck and going to turn that shit off and turn on Rhapsody.
Yeah, man.
That was the highlight of my week.
Nah, that's
Did you play him Remy Ma? Or is that too violent?
No, I ain't playing Rhythm.
That might be too
I
violent
wanted
for
to
an
start him
11-year-old.
off on a path where he could talk about his actual life. So I tried to
So
take.
stabbing the baby, the bastard baby in the bassinet, you don't want him living that life?
Yeah.
Alright,
Yeah, we don't pay admission and the bouncers don't check us and we walk around metal detectors. I don't know if that's going to work. But, yeah, congratulations to the boy on his journey into hip-hop and having me as a teacher.
I mean, realistically, he doesn't have to know how to rap. He just has to get a bunch of Instagram views.
And that's what we don't want.
Really, you just need Young Metro.
Because if Young Metro don't like him,
I told him,
what
don't.
can you do?
I told him, don't rap, just write. They make way more money.
True.
yeah.
The Dream wrote Baby for Justin Bieber.
Yeah.
So
The Dream wrote what? Single Ladies?
he wrote everything.
Yeah.
Okay,
Dream
he
wrote
wrote "Put You to
everything.
Bed" by. He made Jay Holiday a star.
Yeah.
That's like impossible.
What happened to
That
Jay
lady
Holiday?
mistook.
Now
mean-
he just make Instagram
Look, he was
videos.
mistaken on a TMZ video for Valet.
Oh.
Facts.
He's like, nah, baby, not with this Gucci jacket on. I'm not.
Oh,
She's
wow.
like, so where you park my car?
Y'all remember?
Oh, I thought you meant
R.
Valet, the
Kelly.
rapper.
No.
There's a rapper
I'm
named
talking
Valet?
about valet services.
That's not a good rap name. Hey, nigga, take my car keys.
This
Here's
nigga
a
Valet
text.
performed at the Big 3 halftime show with open toe sandals on. Yeah,
Interesting
you
choice.
did that.
Interesting.
I wanted to ask Ice Cube, like, hey man,
Did he have dirt under his toenails?
Like, I can't be ashamed of
He
anybody
had
because
on-
I got on a suit
he had
and I
on-
look and smell good.
he had on
Never did.
flesh-colored Gucci print socks. We got
I don't like it.
topics.
I don't like it.
This is a podcast.
Aye.
We got topics.
So before we get into it, I want to say one thing expeditiously. Like,
You're suspended.
and this goes
Big on.
out.
You smoke crack, don't you?
This goes out to all the overprotective fathers out there.
Enemy is here.
There's
Get them
one very
chains off the
close to
door.
me. You know, an overprotective father very close to me. And if your daughter knows that you're going with her to the gynecologist every year, and you're checking on something, chances are she could shoot a bowling ball out of her asshole, and she could suck the same bowling ball through a fucking coffee stir.
First of all,
I thought you were about
the
to say
young
back
lady
into
just-
her.
As a principal, I don't think you should be talking like this. Firstly,
As
Saying
somebody
the
said
student
next
body
to
can hear
a
this.
woman, I don't think you should talk like that.
I'm just saying.
That young lady just turned 18.
and you
If
practice
you-
this.
Yeah, I practiced this. I thought about it.
That's
Like,
inappropriate and gross.
because no, this is my table. I
Bruh.
can say whatever I want at this table.
So where did those
That's-
thoughts come
Also,
from?
it's true.
When you
Like-
say this, a certain person comes to mind.
Yeah, like if you're gonna check my vagina, I'm not gonna use my vagina.
Take it in the butt. What?
That's what
In
that
the
happens.
Like that
the
actually
thing.
happens.
Yes.
You know?
Yep.
Like,
People that go to like Catholic school and
there's-
shit like that,
Yep.
right up the pooper.
like it's
They
a
that
do
way you're still a
blowjobs and
virgin.
take it in the ass. Yeah.
yeah, like it's definitely a thing.
It's a regular practice.
And I feel like equal rights. You know what I'm saying? Like if you're gonna let your son go out there and do whatever the fuck you want to do, you gotta accept that your daughter is gonna grow up. You know what I'm saying? Like you yourself have what 6, 7, 8 kids.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Going around
Like
everywhere.
where do you think?
So I would imagine. Now this is just me
Like-
speculating here.
Like these are your yeah. What your children's mothers?
I think this is a rich nigga stipulation.
You know what I'm saying none of them have hymens.
All right.
It's just that I wasn't ready to hear the word hymen.
I wasn't ready to
TC.
hear half the shit that was coming out
TC.
this nigga's mouth.
Can we start with TC, please?
Can we just? So we gon'
TC, enlighten us.
I just got
please.
stressed. Here's the thing.
Charge up that
T.I.
social battery.
T.I. went on the interview and he basically said that he takes his youngest daughter, who just turned 18, to the gynecologist every year, and he has the doctor inform him as to if her hymen is still intact.
But she got to sign off on the doctor telling him that though.
Now that she's
Does she?
18.
Now that she's 18,
Okay.
prior to that,
Weird thing.
you don't.
Really?
Maybe like when she's 16, she has to sign off, but I don't know like those rules. I just recently got my first pap smear, so I don't know those rules.
Hey.
I've heard bad. things.
Congratulations.
It sounds uncomfortable.
Yo, let me tell you something.
Paps is
That
what's
shit
happening.
hurt. I was like, yo, I
Okay.
can't take a pap smear. I definitely can't take no
I
dick.
heard it was some kind of big spoon involved.
It's the duct tape.
No.
I don't-
What?
Some
I don't
kind of
even know
thing
why
that looked
I
like
know
a salad scooper.
It looks like a duck.
Salad
stick it
scooper
in.
in the
Nigga.
pooper.
I like take a deep breath.
Yeah,
Whoa.
nah.
Like the little scissors
Yeah, no,
with
it's
cups on
definitely
the end.
it's a duck mouth,
Right.
and then they slide it in the cat.
I'm ignorant.
Slide in the cat.
Mm-hmm.
Open that little bitch up.
That
Then they
little-
take some like Q-tips and they just swab you inside.
Mhm.
But that shit hurts. So that shit hurts.
That was a real wince right there.
But I mean, here's the thing: like, if you know,
What I want to know is
that's
what
not
kind
the
of
world's business.
what kind of routine is
See,
this
nah.
though?
You
What-
come to the
go
Faculty
once a
Lounge
year.
podcast
no, I'm
to
talking
learn
about.
There you go.
I'm talking about T.I.'s daughter. He
I just
says
realized
we
it
go
is
to the
called the faculty
doctor.
lounge and you are dressed like a teacher.
Halloween
It
came
fits
late.
today. It fits.
So I'm thinking about. All right, he says
Somebody
we
should
go
wear a
to
suit
the
every week.
doctor annually to see if her hymen is still intact. What are they going to the doctor for in general? Like, what is this?
Well, maybe just a checkup.
So once you get a period,
Uh-huh.
you kind of should like get a pap smear.
Okay. Right, because of like cervical cancer or something like that.
Yeah, all that shit. You just like check it out. Make sure you like your ovaries straight. You can have kids. Like all that shit. You
Get the
just
cat facts.
Get the cat facts.
Right.
The cat facts. I love
So that's that routine.
Yeah.
Now, here's the thing. Me with my dad, I'm very close to my dad. When I have children, my
Chicken
dad
stew
can
God.
be facts.
Yeah.
My dad can be in the room looking at the baby come out. Like I fucks with my dad. I love my dad to death.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't want my dad telling the world that he speaks to my doctor about my vagina.
Yeah, you can't say everything in an interview.
That's not okay.
You gotta hold some stuff back.
Because on top of that, I'm still a young woman.
Mm-hmm.
And now that you've told the world, we have the world's opinions
gotta go
on
to
my
school.
vagina. And I still have to go to school. I still got to show my face. And that's not cool. She's been on social media kind of liking things that defend her privacy and speak down on like her father's hovering and his overbearingness and how he publicly chose to.
Why do I feel like
out.
I'm
It
gonna
is
be the
weird.
bad guy again today?
I'll say
Because
before
if you go against anything she just said, you're a fucking asshole.
See?
it's a fact.
I mean, it's
Like,
not.
everything
It's a
she just said
lose-lose
is
conversation.
definitely
You
legit.
can't-
So if you
You can't
have the
counter.
relationship with your parents that my mama was in the room and I told her to go down there and look and she wouldn't. Like when I got my pap smear. So I'm fine with that. But I also wouldn't want my mom to be like, man, let me tell y'all what happened to, this and third.
Now, to defend her,
Uh-oh.
if
You got the
T.I.
disciplinarian coming to your aid.
With this damn big ass finger.
You know better, finger.
Hey, son.
My
Listen here,
finger ain't
Sims.
even dressed up.
Hey,
The
boy.
Arsenio finger.
Listen here, Sims. You smoke crack, don't you? Jump.
Right.
Expeditiously.
I don't want to jump. Jump, boy. You're killing your brain cells.
Don't you?
I say if you're going to kill yourself, do so expeditiously.
All right, we got to get it.
So, so
It's like ADD.
if T.I. would have never said what he said, I would have never been able to say what I said.
Right.
And that's exactly what she's saying. Like, you got to respect her privacy. Just like he got on the show today and respected her privacy. Like, it's not that he didn't want to shout her out because he's some, Casanova or whatever. Like, he's literally respecting her privacy by not putting her out there if she's not okay with being put out there.
Either that
Or
he's
he's
not a
respecting
player,
all
he
his
just
other
crush a lot.
relationships.
Saying.
because
I do not have multiple relationships, people.
Okay. So let me hop in here.
Solitary, man. No,
May I? So look, right? This is what I was thinking about. Now, I don't know much about hymens. I don't know much about girls and
I feel like when you do the clips, that should be the clip. To start off with, I don't know much about hymen.
I'm not gonna
but
I'm not gonna pretend that I went to school for OBGYN. I'm not gonna pretend like I've had these.
You're not like Cliff Huxtable.
Yeah, I am not like Dr. Huxtable.
Who was snitching on himself? 'Cause you know he did his stuff in his basement. on
True,
the
it
show.
was in his basement.
Like,
He was
just checking out
delivering
vaginas
foot-long hogies out of
in
men.
the
though.
basement.
I saw that too. But
No,
anywho,
Muppet episode, that
y'all
was
gonna
good.
stop playing with my uncle. For real.
nasty ass uncle.
I'm saying.
So
Jailbird.
anywho, I ain't gonna pretend like I know about the struggle of young women, but I do say this all the time. I think young girls going through puberty is the
I think young girls going through puberty.
it's the scariest.
that shit brutal.
Look, it's the scariest form of human that you could be, right?
That nigga out west as fuck.
The
Almost choked on the
scariest form
goldfish
of
again.
human.
That's the second time today.
We was we were so focused last week. Last week was dynamite.
All right, here we go.
All right, look. So I often say that young girls going through puberty are the most frightening human that you could be in society, right? Because you going from a young girl, which is no different than a young boy, in the eyes of adults. You growing breasts, you growing a butt, your face is getting older, men start approaching you, grown men start talking to you different.
Ass men.
Yeah, it's a scary place to be. And it's like I understand that. And I always respect young girls in society, even if they have that harsh exterior, because I know you out here like a grown man can grab you and try to take something from you.
Yeah, man.
That's one
They've been
reason I
doing
feel
it.
like
You know
the
what I'm
way
saying?
he started to discuss if she not getting it one place, she getting it another place.
She gotta
That
be getting
shit-
it.
Yeah, that's why it's like you gotta steer away from language like that. Though
See,
it may be
no,
true,
No.
you steer away from it because she just turned
All right.
18.
Yeah,
one,
check
and
yourself,
she's
Dr.
still
Phil.
a growing
All right.
young woman.
All right.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
Because this was another thing I was thinking about, right? So I have a son, and he's a good-looking little boy. You know what I'm saying? So all the time,
You need some milk?
I hear this shit all the time. Grown-ass women come up to me, and they say, how's my little boyfriend doing?
That shit's gross.
You know what I'm
Nasty.
saying? Like, so what if I walk up to you and I talk about your 5-year-old daughter and I say, "Hey, how's my little
Okay,
girlfriend?"
okay.
doing?"
But how do you respond to those
wait.
women?
Let's not get off scale right here. Let me just get this little blurb out, right? So
Blurred dot.
Hey.
yeah, let me get this little blurred out. All right, so anyway, I was thinking about myself, and I thought about when I heard T.I. putting his daughter's sexual reproductive business out for the people. It made me think about that time when my mama caught me beating my meat to Skinamax. Right?
Not by
Since-
my mother and my father.
Since I have
Oh, damn.
since I have to
I
be
never want to find that. I'm not looking forward to that.
since I have
So
to
you're
be
like, why is there all this tissue in the waist? Oh.
since I have to be vulnerable here, I'm gonna go ahead and dive in head first. So I got caught beating my meat at a young age. So what I equate hymen to is being a young boy and having that first ejaculation, right? That's how I put it together. I'm not
You
You
know, when
know.
you started off and said you didn't know much about hymens, you proved it.
pretty much. There we go.
Right.
So anyway,
That's right there.
but I think the sum of what I'm gonna say is gonna match up pretty good, right? So as
Take
a
your
boy,
time, Pastor.
she sat her chair outside the door and made sure the TV was off and made sure I was asleep before she left to make sure I wouldn't continue to beat the proverbial meat that evening. So
That's mean. Let your kids jack off.
so the next weekend
Oh, shit.
the next weekend comes around and all of a sudden my whole family, which is full of aunties, knows that I'm being mannish
Oh, yeah.
Man.
and playing with my candy, as my
Tallywhacker.
family
Candy?
says. Yes. I'm being 100% vulnerable.
Wow.
All right. So in my family, penises are called candy, and if you play with your meat, you're being mannish, right? So this is public
A
information.
Jolly Rancher.
Don't do it,
Like
because my mama says,
D-O-L.
"Stop it, stop it, stop it now." I've already
bubblegum
made
that
the
you
connection.
got.
I don't want to relive it.
I was gonna say something, but I ain't in no position to say nothing this week.
So anyway,
That's hilarious.
boom. Now everybody in my family knows that I'm beating my meat now, right? Now it's like, as a boy, I felt embarrassed.
I'd have been like, well, it's bound to happen
felt-
at some point.
I felt embarrassed. Look at this freaky deacon clapping. I felt embarrassed. I felt betrayed. I felt all of those emotions, right?
Right.
But as I got older, I figured out it was my mother trying to rationalize as a parent how to deal with her son having a sexuality at all, right? So it's like
But who did
I-
your mother speak to?
nobody.
Other women. Or,
Your mother spoke to people in her
Yeah,
realm.
Yeah.
Now
yeah,
look. Now this is what I will say. While my mother is not famous, this is still the network as far as I know it.
Yes.
So for me as a boy, all these people are famous because these are the only people I know.
Yes, 100% agree.
So it's like the same way I put it in the microcosm last week. It's the same thing. Like T.I. said it to the world because he's famous. My mama said it to the family because we not. So it's like I understand that feeling that she may or may not be going through.
Okay.
But what I will say is I'm not on T.I.'s side, but I will say a lot of parents just don't know. And they go about a lot of things the wrong way. And instead of trying to tear them down, somebody close to them should be trying to educate them.
I feel like this is a good way to start
fuck
the
that shit.
conversation. It's well, in my defense, I feel like after she said everything you said, I feel like I need to make it clear that I was talking about high school boys. I wasn't talking about like grown ass men.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Because high schoolers do
Yeah.
fuck. That's the thing. that they
like
do.
when I
Yes,
when
they
I
do.
when I thought about this young girl going to the doctor with her father and being embarrassed, I thought about little boys. I didn't think about you know like grown
Yeah.
men in the street harassing.
Oh
her
no,
and
I didn't.
shit,
I didn't
you know
think
what I'm
that's where you
saying?
was going.
No, we
Mm-mm.
with you.
And my response was, when kids think like, oh well, you know, I've heard stories from people that grew up very Christian. And they're like, well, I can't have normal sex because that's a sin. But
I can go.
there's these other two holes.
Yeah.
So he is kind of like pushing his daughter in that direction. Or my thing is, if your dad is checking your hymen and you know that he's having someone check your hymen, he's not just walking up to the doctor like, hey, was her hymen cool?
Yeah.
It's like,
Hey, what's up with the hymen? Though?
yeah, is she still? But
Yeah.
my thing is, if he's that overprotective, she's gonna cut the fuck up when she goes to college.
Oh, absolutely.
Like the fuck up.
I think that's okay though. I definitely think it's okay because everybody got to
I mean,
have
I'm
a whole
not saying
phase.
it's bad,
You have
but
to learn. That's
Yeah.
the
At
at
thing.
the same
You
time,
have
like
to
he's
learn.
shoving her into the thing that he's trying to keep her away from.
Yeah.
And that's that overprotective dad thing.
Yeah, man.
You know, and I think it's that's just parenting. You know, I think it's parenting the fact that you just some things you just gonna get all the way wrong, but because it makes you
Also,
feel
we
like
gotta
you're doing the
remember
right
this is
thing,
his
you're gonna
young
keep doing
guest
it.
Daughter.
Yeah.
He's had other daughters.
I was gonna say like some
not like
things
this
you
is
get
his first
wrong, but
child.
nigga, this ain't your first
Nah,
daughter.
nah. But I got
And you got a
I
wife.
got I got an older
and you
brother.
had a sister.
I got a
and
brother.
Your ass got a mama.
And my
And
mama
hoes.
treated my brother
Yeah.
totally different than the way she treat me.
Yeah.
It's different methods for each sibling.
Yeah.
But
so this
you
might be
can't-
the first time.
His
though.
defense can't like ever be, well, I just didn't know.
no,
Because
no.
your ass
maybe,
got other kids. You
maybe
knew.
he felt
you got
like
a
he
wife,
got it
you knew.
wrong, so he was trying to get it right this time.
Mm-hmm.
You know what
Find
I'm
a different
saying?
method.
Right.
Yeah.
See that,
and
that's
that's what
the point.
he did. That's
That's
what
the
he
point.
did. He
Yeah.
found a different method.
Yeah.
You know what
Also,
I'm
don't
saying?
tell
Like,
the internet.
Don't
Like,
tell the
yeah,
internet.
Maybe
definitely
tell
don't
people
tell
close
the
to you,
internet.
but don't tell. the
Because
internet.
guess what?
Uh-huh.
Even though T.I. is like famous to the world, he's just T.I. to his circle. And the way your mama is just your mama to just the mama
He's
to
just-
all her sisters.
He's just Clifford
T.I.
to the
coulda-
circle.
T.I. could have told, you know, his boys. He could have told Nelly.
I don't think
Who was on that show with him?
No, the
Kevin
father
Hart.
is not running around telling his boys about his daughter's virginity.
No,
That's just
boys
not
like
gonna
friends.
happen.
Don't tell the
Not
boys.
like,
Don't
hey
tell
son,
your homies.
you know your sister's still a virgin?
No, but you said Nelly.
I'm saying
hell
like
no.
Nelly. Who the fuck do I don't
Fuck.
know who he hang out
Hey,
with.
yeah, my daughter lost the hymen, man.
Who
No.
he hang out with? Nelly,
Go
Gucci,
find it.
Kevin Hart. I don't
Yeah, I
fucking know
know.
who he hang out with. But let me not tell the people I'm closest with. Let me tell the universe.
Yeah.
And beyond that, I think,
And
T.I.
then
just
you-
started the podcast, so it's
Yeah.
like
It's-
you're going to
it's-
find yourself being vulnerable in situations where maybe you shouldn't be because
Nah,
you're
is that-
involving other people.
Ain't
Is
nobody
this
trying
to
do that
cheap?
shit.
Like, is this like a cheap shot? Like a clickbait?
No.
Like for the podcast?
No, I think
Like
it's the
it's-
same
No,
thing
his
Howard
ass
Stern
really
went
just be
through
talking.
Mm-hmm.
in his days
got
of
too
becoming the
comfortable.
shot job. Right,
Yeah.
you talking like you're on TV talking like it's just you and me.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think if he did make a mistake, he's gonna apologize to his daughter. None of us are gonna know about it. But
But
yeah.
I definitely want to say shouts out to the YouTube follower, YouTube subscriber that was commenting on the gun video because he requested
Yeah.
that we talk about the father being in the house and how important it is for a father
Hold on,
to
let's
be
get his.
around.
I'm gonna get
What's
his
the gun
name.
video?
I'm gonna get his name real quick.
I'm not aware of it.
So we put up a clip last week. We were talking about. We were forced into a conversation about gun law.
Hey, but it brought up these comments. We got
Yeah.
comments.
So
like,
this is
know, and
his
that's-
name is G.
thank
Cook.
y'all. Yeah.
His Avi is Snoopy holding an American flag. Shout out to G. Cook,
I
man.
don't trust him.
Right.
Yeah, but he sent a video about why you should own an AR-15. You know, basically. Yeah. See,
I'm
I don't
listening.
want to.
We're not
I mean, we're not going to
we're
dive
not
into
going
it.
Like a
there.
But-
quick recap.
We're just going off his comment. How
Of
he
having
said
the father
protect
in the
yourself
home.
From
Yeah.
the
having a
military?
father.
I don't know why you would have one.
So Charlamagne was saying on the Breakfast Club interview that they jumping on T.I. for being too involved when they should be praising him because there's so many fathers that's not involved. I think that's a false equivalency.
I
though.
think that's a false
Definitely.
equivalence.
like that's a
too.
super,
I
that's
hate
a
that.
super cop out.
I hate when people do that. That's pretty weird.
I
That's
mean-
Charlamagne.
You
Yeah.
see,
yeah.
see
I mean, a
on
lot
one
of people do
hand,
that,
I'm
though.
like, this is a fucked up situation, but we're talking about it because he is there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. True that.
Hey,
Yeah.
I 100% believe.
Like none of us are calling him a bad father, are we?
No.
Okay.
No,
I
This
just want-
is
I
just-
mean,
He had a
This
reality
this
TV
is
show.
bad
so it was a bad
shit.
father. He would've
this
shown.
is some
Pretty
shit
much.
this is some shit that probably a lot of fathers do,
No.
but they don't even
That's
tell their
weird.
daughter that they did it. You know
Uh-huh.
what I'm
If they got the
saying?
money to do
Like,
it, I imagine.
No, I'm saying like if you
you
go
can't just
to the
take your daughter to the
gynecologist.
free clinic and he's
No, I'm saying like if you go to the gynecologist with your daughter, and you know what I'm saying, you're like, all right, here, take $2, go get a bag of chips, and then you ask the doctor, hey,
Yeah, it's a
you know what I'm
solid
saying?
But the doctor
But you're
not
not gonna
allowed
tell-
to give that information out.
Until
So even if you send me to go get chips, the doctor, that's like doctor
But
patient.
is that before
confidentiality.
18 though?
yeah, that's what I think you,
Doctor patient.
that you
Doctor
have to be
patient,
18.
regardless. I don't even think there's an
So if
age.
you're a
There
juvenile,
is-
wait,
There is
wait.
an age because if my 5-year-old son can't tell a doctor something that the doctor ain't gonna come back and tell me.
Right, that's what I'm saying. So it got to
Mm.
be some kind of law that we not, you
Mm.
know.
But I'm pretty sure
I wonder if his doctor's
fathers ask,
So the age is 16.
16. Yeah.
Plug
Yes.
this in for me, Mike.
The age is 16.
So like, yeah, I'm pretty sure other fathers have gone in the hospital and asked, but they probably haven't said it to the world. They probably went home in the bed, and had a pillow talk with their wife about their child, and like, yeah, man, I asked the doctor.
And then I'm
you know
thinking
what saying?
about
but like the daughter never even finds out.
I'm thinking about
what I'm
his
saying?
personal preference. Maybe he feels like, man, if my daughter has made it to a maturity level of where she is having sex, then I need to reevaluate the kind of cushion I give her as a parent.
I feel like that's I would have to hear him saying it. to
No,
get
no,
the
right,
context
that's
but
just-
you're
yeah.
not wrong.
That's just conspiracy theory.
Yeah,
Like, cause
Oh.
if
It
you
could've been.
cause if you fucking, you ready for the next
You
stage
getting
of
a
life.
lot less.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Same thing goes for a boy.
pretty
Like,
much.
If
Pretty
you
much.
start, if you fucking, you go from 17 meals a week to 14. You know what I'm saying? Like you gotta get a job.
Oh, yeah.
Like you definitely have to buy condoms, and I have to see the condoms. You
Yeah,
know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Like,
Don't buy none of that Durex shit.
yeah.
And don't buy condoms out the liquor store.
To speak on
Go to
Fishbowl.
Walgreens.
to like kind of backtrack to the thing you said when like women say like, where's my little boyfriend? Like, how do you respond to that?
I always say, who? Like it's a stern who. It's like it's not.
No, it's like you
like-
gotta cut that shit off in the door.
Like,
Yeah.
hey, no, my 5-year-old son. Like, who? My 5-year-old
Yeah,
son.
that, like
You know.
when people, I feel like that's so
Make them
inappropriate.
feel like the doof that they are for saying something. like
Yeah,
that.
I hate when people do that. I'm also not a fan of like women calling their kids like fine and my baby looks so sexy and I
Yeah,
don't
that's
like
weird.
that shit.
Or
That's
dressing
weird.
their
term-
3-year-old in Pellies and Tims and putting finger waves in
Ooh,
their
my baby
head, taking them to
sexy.
take pictures.
Yeah. See, cause
like
yeah.
those terms
Your baby
are
can't spell
bad.
sex.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then you get like these women that's like my little boyfriend, like
Uh-huh.
my
Yeah.
that shit's inappropriate.
Like
and
I accept my little king, my little prince.
Mhm.
That's acceptable.
Mhm.
You know what I'm
So
saying?
are we trampling into the territory of telling people how to raise their kids?
No, we trampling into the
no,
territory about
you
telling people how to talk about my kids.
No. But what Breezy said was something different.
It ain't. No. She's saying she don't like when people.
well,
talk
I don't
to
like when
my
people
kid
call their kids
like
sexy
this.
either.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what
Oh,
I was
Yeah,
talking
that's
about.
weird.
yeah.
That's
yeah.
a weird thing.
See, cause shouts out to
It ain't
all
how
of-
you raise your kids; it's how you speak on your kids. It's the verbiage that you use, and it's
Because they hear that word.
they hear that.
'cause-
Yeah.
And what
Eventually
is
they're gonna be
sexy?
old
What do you
enough to
think
know.
is
Yeah,
sexy?
see,
A
shout,
grown ass bitch.
I was
Yeah,
finna
right.
say
You don't
this.
wanna be like-
Shouts out to Arlo. When we were younger, way younger, I was like, man, she's sexy. And he was like, oh, so you mean that's someone you would have sex with? Like, you know how I used to break down words and
Yeah.
stuff? Like, when you say somebody is sexy, that's somebody that you're willing to have sex
Man,
with.
Johnny P made a whole song
Mhm.
about it called Sex Appeal. Look it up, niggas.
I honestly,
Rest
like,
in peace to Johnny P.
Sex
rarely.
I
Sex.
forgot about that song.
Appeal.
Appeal.
Talking about sex appeal.
Fun fact, I produced a song by a guy named Ray Cash called Sex Appeal.
Turn up.
How do I know that name?
Ray Cash.
I know that
From
name.
either Bumping My Music.
Bumping my
Bump,
music.
yeah.
I do know
Yeah.
Ray
Yeah, it's like
Cash.
I rarely
That
use
song
the word
was
sexy,
a
though.
hit.
I
Like
never
I
used the
think
word.
there's one woman in my life
Mhm.
that I can say she is sexy.
Hmm.
Everybody else, you could be pretty, you could be cute, you
Yeah,
could be
pretty,
whatever,
fine.
but fine, right? But
Mhm.
there's like one person that I'm like, she's sexy.
I hate the internet because we always because of the internet, we end up in semantic battles because
And she's a
it's
woman.
mostly words.
It is all words.
Yeah, I don't like that because we gonna end up in semantics over no context,
Right.
and that's like a never-ending battle of stupidity.
But see, what we're talking about isn't words, because actions speak louder than words.
True that.
Like T.I.'s
words
words
become
were
actions if you
about
repeat 'em.
his actions.
Why would
You know what I'm
I
saying?
even though I think this is
And you
it's
gotta
a
give
better way to
weight
do
these
things.
Words. Cause if they just words, motherfuckers gonna say anything to you, and they gonna hide behind the defensive. It's just a word.
Well, I mean,
That's
it's
why
all in
these
the power
people-
that you give
that's
it.
why
Like when
these
white
people
people
in
rap
the-
the word nigga and
That's why these white people in Popeyes talking about some nigga, then they surprised when they get jumped outside.
I'm,
Yeah.
and I'm all for it. I am
You ever
all
seen the video
for
where the
it.
guy threw the guy over the counter?
yeah.
Like,
And
I'm
they-
not even gonna call you.
their
And he was
thing-
like,
Their thing is like, oh, it's just a word.
I'm all
no,
for
no,
it.
No.
Mhm.
there's
Yeah.
a whole history behind
Because
and you're
it-
not allowed to tell me how
I
I'm
tell
going
you
to
what it just
receive that
is.
word.
Yeah.
I
or
tell you
any
what
word.
it just is. It's just a fucking chicken sandwich. Like,
That's a fact.
Man, look.
they
I
released the
haven't
shit
had one.
again.
I don't even want it.
And
'cause
it's
I
the
feel like
same
there's
shit.
psychedelic drugs in it. Like there's crack.
I'm so glad I don't eat
I
chicken.
don't know.
Man, I've
I'm
had
so
4
glad.
of them.
That's why you put that suit on.
Out the
Oh,
There
okay.
you go.
So where we at with it now?
Yeah, man. What we
Uh,
doing?
all right, so we're gonna let Deacon Scott give us the announcements for this week,
Rebel.
and then we're gonna have a B selection from our choir.
So,
But first, all the children come up to the front.
so I recently found out that Tim Duncan got locks in his hair,
Yes.
Dunk Lloyd, yeah.
and
Tim Duncan still has hair.
Where did you think
I-
this was
He
going?
let it grow after
He never got a liner in his life.
Yeah, he never had.
I want to cut my shit off
so
now,
like
man.
78.
Shouts out to Dunk Lloyd.
I got the same hairstyle as Dunk Lord.
And you wearing Spurs colors.
Ugly ass boy.
Oh man,
Look at that.
this shit, man. See, I couldn't
Representing the devil.
not do it. Once I said it last week, and then I called him in the middle of the week and told him I was going to do it. I couldn't not do it.
You can't
Yeah.
renege.
But I wasn't ready for this.
Oh yeah.
I must say, y'all brought y'all A game.
Mm-hmm.
Congratulations, man. I hope y'all happy.
So I would like to say,
And for all y'all kids out there who don't know how to handle bullying, this is how you
Man,
handle
y'all
bullying.
don't realize Tone thick as fuck.
oh shit.
I'm just looking at this nigga. This nigga thick as fuck.
She said you got childbearing hips, B.
Damn.
His booty on his back. This nigga thick. This suit sitting up
Oh shit.
the back
son.
of this jacket.
Son, stop it.
Oh,
TC, stop. Stop.
This nigga built.
Stop.
Goddamn fertility statue.
Anonymous the Stallion? What are we doing? What are we doing?
Damn.
Oh, shit.
What
This
are
nigga-
we doing?
This nigga went to Dr. Miami. I
Oh
don't
shit, son.
understand.
And them locks extensions.
Yeah.
Y'all not gonna make me choke on these gophers.
All right, look,
Third
so-
time.
so-
Third time I almost died.
So,
during this podcast.
so about this Popeye sandwich, right? I think it's Complex Con. You remember how we said Complex Con is the internet in person, right?
Yeah.
Like this Popeye's chicken sandwich, it was pandemonium the first time, but now that it went away and the internet had it, now it's like the internet put into reality.
Just caught the bread
don't
of
know.
So
living.
now everybody clamoring to get that motherfucker because it's not real anymore.
I don't understand.
But I thought
Adults.
when it came out this time, it's out to stay. Like,
Popeyes already has a chicken sandwich. I don't think anybody
Like-
like.
It's gonna sell out again.
if you don't get a chicken sandwich now, you can get one in 7 months.
Shout out
Because
to all
it's
my
still
real
gonna
niggas
be
that was
there.
born 1980 to 1990 because we remember when Popeyes had a spicy chicken sandwich and it was regular.
I remember when Popeyes
Regular.
Regular,
tasty
degular,
chicken.
schmegular.
Yeah.
They changed their whole recipe.
Yeah.
So what we hey,
Tone got turkey calves.
She is really going. She is staring at me. Man, I wish you would have sat over here today, Mike.
This is what's
Hey.
gonna
You see,
happen.
this
Maybe
is
if you weren't dressed that way.
look, we got the cameras on, right. We got the cameras on, so if she go for your thigh, you just say something and we'll shut this whole thing off.
Danger.
TC, you keep your hands to yourself.
First of
We'll shut
all,
this whole thing down. All right? And I don't
would
want to hear it.
never-
I don't want to hear it. That's a God-fearing man. In the name of Jesus,
Keep your hands to
I like to
yourself.
give an honor to God.
Hey.
Oh, man.
What we got next, man?
Bless these goldfish first.
I swear we had a great show last week, y'all. I swear.
I'm having a good time.
So
We got
was talking about
goldfish and deacon suits. Yeah.
we was talking about Charlemagne,
Uh-huh.
y'all all watched the Byron Allen interview
Oh,
on the
yeah.
Breakfast Club, and I didn't get a chance to watch it. I saw some of it. I heard when he said $300 million isn't a lot of money. Of course, that's the one section they're gonna put on Instagram,
Yeah.
and everybody's gonna go crazy about. But it's the same thing. I kind of feel like Terrence Howard, Eddie Griffin, everybody's going off into the universe talking about energy and spirituality and bringing stuff to yourself. He just said it in a way that normal people would understand it.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Because I know y'all seen Eddie Griffin this week going crazy.
What happened with Eddie
No,
Griffin?
what happened with Eddie? I watched him and Jason's lyric last night. That's funny.
He was
he
he was just like
Yep.
backstage
Got
at a
perm.
show, and he got to talking that Terrence Howard shit, talking about the vibrations in the universe, and there's only one positive and one negative vibration.
No, that's
And
what got him
then-
blackballed. Eddie Griffin is the original Cat Williams.
But what got Cat Williams blackballed?
Telling the truth.
Yeah.
Slapping Walmart workers.
Yeah.
All right, because I know Cat Williams, he got into a fight with the kid, and then
Yo,
it
he
was
got
like,
washed
No.
by that kid.
He didn't get in the fight.
That seventh
The
grader
kid
whooped
fought
his
him.
ass.
I,
He got up off the ground like, this is what y'all let y'all kids do?
Right.
And they were playing soccer. It was a soccer game in the projects, and he got hemmed up by a 7th grader.
His ass got put in the
Shit, and he
chokehold.
stepped to the seventh grader.
Wow.
wow.
There's
And him
no
and the
way
7th
out.
grader was the same height.
I don't know what serendipity means, but I just want to say it. It was serendipitous.
There you go.
There you go.
Serendipitous.
Yeah. The serendipitacity is heavy.
Are these words in your Bible?
They are not in my Bible.
Genesis
Oh,
5,
man, there's
verse
so much
13.
shit to talk about this week.
Hey, let me ask you, how come the Kingdom Hall ain't got no windows?
'Cause you can see, we can see in yours, but you can see in ours.
So Byron Allen.
Yeah.
Byron Allen.
Okay, I'm sorry.
All right, so Byron Allen, basically, he gave us $1 million worth of game for the free ball.
Yeah, he did.
If you didn't watch the Byron Allen interview, if you're not familiar with Byron Allen and you have any desire to do anything media-driven or entrepreneurial, that is an interview that should be in your Rolodex.
Facts.
Rolodex, I mean cell phone. All right?
Remember, we was born in the 80s. and
Pretty
don't know what
much.
Rolodex
There was
are.
paper. We had,
Yeah,
we
we
had an
had-
abundance of paper
rolled
just
it.
around when we
We
were
had
shorties.
paper.
Yeah,
And the money looked better.
Yeah, it did.
yeah.
Yeah.
Now we got blue
Weird.
faces.
Yeah.
So anywho, Byron Allen, what I took away from the interview is don't be scared of the money. This man was taking chances, living out of his car, being a lost leader. All right? He was and taking great risk to be that lost leader. He was taking trains across country because he couldn't afford plane tickets. You know what I'm saying?
Nowadays, the train costs the same as plane tickets.
Don't it
Yeah.
though, man?
That's just disappointment.
Yeah, but I mean, and for him to be taking on Comcast in such a way, because he is in the Supreme Court battle right now. So basically, they're trying to use a rule that says to sue a company for discrimination, you have to prove that discrimination is the sole reason
I believe
why
it
you're being
is.
discriminated
They're
against.
trying to change the law to that.
Yeah.
that-
Right.
They're trying to make it so that you have to prove 100% the racism is the reason, not like 10%. Mind you, unless somebody calls you nigger to your face, it's
And you
real
got it on
hard to
camera.
say to a white person,
Yeah.
this is why it's racist when you put your change on the counter and when my hand is out.
Right.
Because people can choose not to understand racism. That's kind of what
Yeah.
privilege is. You don't have to grow up. You're insulated by the system. And you don't have to think about what anybody else goes through. So if you're doing this, especially Trump put, 42 new judges in? A record number of judges have been appointed by these white supremacists. So if they change the rule that you have to make it a beyond the shadow of a doubt 100% about racism, then that's going to fuck everybody up.
All of us.
Right.
We going back before civil rights, man.
Yeah.
So the NAACP has spoken out against Comcast doing this. Kamala Harris and the fish-eyed one, what's his name, Booker?
Cory Booker.
Cory Booker, whose
Yeah.
eyes do this.
Don't never
Shave
trust
all the
nobody
hair
like
off his
that.
face. I don't trust him. I don't trust him.
Like if anybody looks like a lizard,
Let me
proof a
just
lizard
say,
man.
man,
This nigga.
with that suit, Mike, your voice should be coming out of his body. I was just observing that while you was pontificating over here.
I'm finna go to sleep.
Okay.
I can't fucking do this shit.
I just lost my shit because you pointed back to the suit.
I'm sorry. We being serious, but I had to, man.
Damn it, man.
Hey, watch episode 69 for a great show.
We don't even need an aux cord on this episode.
No, we don't.
Man.
I had
This
Ox
suit-
in mind. Hey, if we can't play suited and booted, and hey, I don't know what we gonna do.
Yeah, man.
So,
But,
Comcast is trying to fuck us up.
yeah. So,
But
so-
now,
Real time.
who else is there? Like, we can't just
Which
Gucci
sucks 'cause
Comcast, right?
is like,
Like, there's only Comcast and
Comcast is,
AT&T, right?
but Comcast does have a low key monopoly though,
I was
Like,
talking to
who else has internet for me? Who else can I buy internet from?
and they have the most channels that are distributed
Mhm.
by a cable company
that, and they're already throttling content that they don't want people to look at on the internet
'Cause
Now
of
that
net neutrality.
isn't there.
Fuck
Yeah,
a G
Comcast
pie.
is really
I'll say that.
Comcast is fucking us up bad.
Yeah.
They have too much power. They need to get broken up.
Yep.
And Byron Allen is trying to do his part to do that.
I think Byron Allen is our black superhero.
I mean, one of
I
our
mean,
black
yeah,
superheroes.
one
one
of
of
our
them. There's a
black
lot of them.
superheroes.
You definitely cannot take the Black Panther's power away from him. He will forever be the Black Panther.
Yes, he will. Do you know who the Black Panther is?
T'Challa.
No.
Thank you.
Akon.
Akon.
Oh. Okay.
Akon.
Yeah, I guess.
A fellow Ohioan
Single.
like yourself.
No, he's
I
from
thought he
he's
was
from
from
St.
Africa.
Louis.
I don't know
St.
why I
Louis.
keep thinking Ohio.
Yeah, St. Louis. He was
Yeah.
born in St. Louis,
The
Missouri.
Midwest.
Yeah.
But he definitely
Akon
He
is
he
the Black
grew up-
Panther.
he definitely grew up in Africa.
He's taking a bunch of China money, though. Did you know
Yeah.
that in Africa, the places that China is settling, they have their own courts?
Yeah.
So if an African has a problem with somebody, or if somebody from China does something to an African, they can't press charges.
They gotta
China
go to
handles
Chinese
it in
court?
China court.
Yep.
Wow.
It's like they
That's
teaching,
racist as shit.
like,
Wow.
Like that.
You have to
Wild.
learn Mandarin in some African schools now.
Wow.
Yeah.
However, Akon's taking money from them. So when they say he's
but
like
he's
lighting
lighting
all
up
these
Africa.
Yeah.
But it's not
Well,
money.
China's lighting up Africa with
It's-
his face
Yeah, it's not money.
or through his face.
What he got from China was the products.
Mm-hmm.
Like he just got
Right,
the
right.
actual solar
Yeah.
panels from China,
Mm.
and he's
Yeah.
paying them back. So he didn't take money; he just took the solar panels that he's gonna pay
What
for.
was that? A Breakfast Club interview where you said that?
Was it the Breakfast Club? Might have
Yeah,
been the Breakfast
yeah, it
Club.
was. It was when he
Mhm.
said what he actually
Yeah, I
got from
remember that.
China.
Yeah,
you're
he
right.
just got
You're
$1
right.
billion
There was a bunch
worth
of solar stuff that they wasn't using
Yeah,
anymore.
Yeah.
because America forced them to make it,
Mhm.
and as soon as they perfected it, America put a 200% tax on it,
Yeah.
so Americans couldn't afford it.
Mhm.
But who can afford it? Africans who
Mhm.
really need the shit.
Oh,
Mhm.
a quick,
The sun's
s-
everywhere.
quick sidebar.
Mhm.
If y'all are interested in this solar technology and stuff like what Akon is doing, it's a documentary called "The Life and Death of the Electric Car." Check that out, man. Because everybody think Tesla is something that's new, man. The electric car has lived and died and has been brought back to life. So it's very interesting shit.
All right, all right.
So shouts out to Byron Allen, man. Y'all make sure that you do your research and your homework on the brother.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
What else we got?
You
So
think
we got a
anybody's
bunch
gonna
of-
hate on Byron Allen for having a white wife?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, you have to. It's like it's gonna happen.
The stupid.
Like
Yeah, I don't want to.
it don't. No matter how vanilla the statement you make is, you're gonna have somebody on the other side.
That's true.
you
Yeah,
know?
pretty much. I mean,
Even if it's just a joke,
Mhm.
even if that person just said it out of a joke, they're gonna have somebody on their side. It was like, I thought that was the first thought that came to my head. Yeah,
look,
fuck that guy.
Wesley Snipes
Yeah.
could save 65 newborn babies from a burning hospital today
In a suit.
in a in
I
a
got one. I got one in on
in
myself.
a Burlington Coat Factory suit. And they would still say, "Well, he don't like he
Men's
only like
Warehouse.
white women." Like, you know, it's gonna come regardless, man. Regardless.
Hey, I mean,
That might just be the time. I don't think
Eddie-
you can reverse any of that. That's just the time we're in.
Eddie Murphy got 10 kids, all by black women.
Are they all about black women?
I think so.
Nicole Murphy is she in the swirl?
Oh, she in the
Yeah, she
swirl.
black.
Also,
Shit
does
swirl.
he had that baby that he didn't claim with Scary Spice?
Yeah.
So he's got
All
at least
right,
one
right,
more.
right.
Mm,
We
He's
got
got 10 kids that he claims.
we got anything
Yeah.
else
That
important?
means,
I don't know
Not really. No.
Jason Mitchell,
Nah, we ain't really got to talk about Jason Mitchell.
I don't know. Oh, the lion guy.
J.C. Watts.
No.
You want to?
We
J.C.
already
Watts,
talked. No, we didn't talk about J.C. Watts.
So here's my thing about. There's a guy named J.C. Watts, a friend of mine. Shout out to Ricardo Jackson. He has a Facebook page called Breaking News with Mr. Jackson.
yeah.
It's mostly just like tabloid shit, like man stabs wife over spaghetti and shit like that. But he posted, and I've been seeing this around, that there's supposed to be a black news network that's
Nasty
supposed
spaghetti,
to.
man.
They're from Florida.
I just
Florida
digested that.
spaghetti.
man.
Chink, chink. That's I don't know why. It's 2 forks stabbing in either rib.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah. Prison fight tactics, but I've never been to prison. I just have tattoos and I'm black.
He preaches at prison.
Every Sunday.
And
They
he
gotta
does
check his
Bible
jacket.
study on Wednesday.
Hell no.
Now that you tore that pocket, they're gonna check in that pocket.
Right.
When they come in.
Sew your shit back up later.
But there's gonna be a black news network.
Televangelist looking boy.
You can send your donations. Give you if you pay us $20.
That's Pastor
we will
Wilson's
give
son.
you a small vial
No,
of holy
that ain't
water.
my son.
So there's a black news network, and it seemed like a good thing. And I was like, well, this is probably good, but why are they giving black people a news network when Byron Allen said, 1, they wouldn't give him a channel, 2, they wouldn't give HBCUs a sports channel?
Now that's what I want.
Why is
Right.
this?
That would be
that would have been a
good.
big deal. So I was like, well, that's weird, but why would they have black news? So I looked into it, especially because Comcast is carrying it. So I was like, this can't be right.
Right.
So I looked into it, and the guy, J.C. Watts, is the man behind it. He's not just a member of the GOP, but he's a lobbyist. Those business people that get laws changed to favor businesses.
Mm-hmm.
He's the guy putting out a black news network. So while it potentially could be good, even if like they can kind of muscle him out, they can make it good, I don't trust this. Because I really just feel like, one, I don't trust 24-hour news networks because there's not 24 hours worth of news
You
in
have
the
to
day.
make it up
So you
as
got to
you
make
go.
shit up.
Right.
Yeah, that's why Fox is so big. Fox is like, well, we'll just put our dumbass opinions out since there's no news to cover.
I hate
Right.
that shit.
Yeah.
I hate opinions. Like when you're watching something like
Because opinions are facts.
Daily
nowadays.
Mail or something.
Pretty much.
All
and
you need
then-
is 3 people to agree on an opinion, and it's a fact.
Like that suit.
Yeah, man.
What's
Facts.
This suit was great until you 3 people walked into my office.
What's the guy with the beard's name? The Men's Warehouse guy? Is that the one?
You're gonna like the way you look. I guarantee it. Face on.
Hey.
You're gonna like the way you look.
Oh shit, son. I think it's a great idea though,
It is a good
because
idea.
anything that will get black people as a whole engaged in something.
Yeah.
'Cause I mean, even if it's bullshit news and it's totally agendized, man, you're gonna have
It's gonna be
opposition.
Black Fox News.
Yeah. So if you got Black Fox
Yeah.
News, inevitably you're gonna get Black CNN.
Hopefully.
I mean-
Comcast is running shit.
But I
We
mean,
might just
even
get like Latino Fox.
even
News
if
and
it's-
then Asian Fox. News.
even if it's
Yeah.
guerrilla
Everything
media, man.
but.
Yeah,
even if
it's gonna be the same. It's gonna be the same show in different colors.
Mhm.
Just yeah, I can see that. I can
Fox
see
and
that
Friends with
happening.
niggers.
Weird.
Also,
Tone
I'm so
ass.
glad I can cuss on this show.
But,
I'm not used to being able to do that.
I want to see it because all I can think about is that interview with what's Buddy name the O'Reilly report when Killer and Dame went on the
Oh,
O'Reilly
yeah.
thing.
on you, dog.
Oh my God,
Yeah.
Did you see his Rap Radar interview?
Yes,
Came
I
out
did.
when they
Loved
brought
it.
that up?
Loved it.
He was like, I didn't really know anything.
Right.
I knew
He
what
was
my
going off
friends
Dame
told me.
energy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, well,
But
we'll,
Bill
we'll see
O'Reilly
what-
shut up. And he was like, oh, well, I do have dirt.
So we only got a
Right.
couple minutes left. You
No, we
Our
got time. We got
viral.
time.
We
Let's
do?
talk
Yeah.
about our viral
cool.
topic of the weekend.
I can't do it no more.
This suit.
Oh.
All right. No. Woman.
It's a chopper suit. Making the band looking boy. No, you look like Johnny Kemp. Just got paid Friday night. Give me my phone. What did Oscord at?
Oh man.
Give me
So
that aux cord.
Yeah, man.
basically, there's a woman that went to her son's school. She got a phone call.
All right.
And the teacher was like, teacher made the phone call, hey, your son up here fighting that crazy, woo, da-da-da. She goes up to the school, yanked the boy from the lunchroom to the corridor, like to the outside corridor. She got the belt. She started whooping him, cursing him out. She calling him nigga. She calling him. His teacher's like this
This a
white
black school?
Asian lady.
Or is this like there are white people that go to this school and he's just the black kid?
I would imagine it's white people because it's news.
Yeah. I mean, the teacher
That's true.
teacher was white or Asian or something, but I think it's like a mixed school or whatever.
You
Um,
can't be calling your kid nigga in front of everybody.
so
All the white
then
folks.
she's like, she whooping him. She like, man, when you going she was like, your ass gonna be in punishment. You ain't getting shit. You ain't getting shit. Everything coming out your room, you could be in that room till you fucking die. Your ass not having a TV, ain't no fucking game, ain't no toy, ain't no nothing.
You dead on these streets.
She was like, bruh, she was like, if your teacher called me up here again, like, I'm gonna break your face, like, da-da-da.
Break
So,
your
right.
face.
She literally
she
said, "I'll
literally
break your
told him,
face."
like, I'm gonna
Yeah.
break your face. Now, a lot of people are upset that the boy got a whooping. I don't care about the whooping because let me tell you something. As a parent, and what my mom used to do with me, now I'm doing the shit with my son. Bree, when your ass going to school, don't act a fool. You talk. My mama talked to me the night before because my teacher done called her. So now she got to get me to talk the night before because we got to talk about why the fuck you showing out. And this is the warning. And then in the morning when she drops me off at school before I get in the car, and Bree, I bet not get no phone call from this teacher. You better go in there, be on your best behavior, and you better apologize for acting the ass. When my mama get that phone call the following day, like, man, Bree ain't do shit you told her to do. Yeah, you getting your ass beat.
Yeah.
And my mom always said, I'm going to embarrass you where you embarrass me. So I'm fine with the boy getting a whooping in school because this way you was acting an ass.
Yeah.
I'm not fine with her calling him a nigga.
Yeah.
I don't call my son a nigga.
Yeah.
I'm not fine with her saying in public, I'm going to break your face. I'm not fine with her saying in public, bro, I'm taking everything out your room. You going to be in that bitch till you die at this point because you ain't got shit together. Because I understand the context. Other people would be like, man, like, nah, she can't say deaf. You can't bring up deaf. Can't say break the face. No, that's how serious I am because now I'm missing money because your ass can't get your shit together. And I was upset that the little boy looked so dusty. The little boy had the pants was flooding. His socks was her socks.
So
he
what
was
you
wearing
saying
her
is,
socks. They
Yeah,
were
looking
pink.
like Nestle
so what you saying
Crunch.
is there wasn't nothing in his room already.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm gonna take your saltine crackers.
some shit. I'm gonna
Some
take your
mattress
last
on the floor.
motherfucking suit.
Mattress.
Oh, damn.
I'm taking the jacket, Johnny. I'm taking the jacket.
Damn.
So I mean, he was wearing like her
So
big ass
smooth.
pink
See,
socks.
transition out and right back in.
He was
Damn.
wearing her big ass pink socks. His
Like
fucking
surgery.
pants were like gaucho fucking capri pants. Like
That poor kid.
it was like, shorty, first of all, your ass ain't care about how you sent him out the house. And then this bitch, you whooping him, you got on blue eyeshadow, all your pants, all your clothes fit. I didn't like that. I'm totally fine with whooping your kids. I'm fine with whooping them with a belt. They were like, she hit him with the belt more than 7 times. If I get hit your ass,
No.
Well, is
She
that
hit
the
him.
federal
She,
law?
Wait.
Is
She,
the federal law
wait.
7 whippings?
she hit him.
that's what a news report, brother.
She hit him with the buckle.
Oh,
yeah, that's not
no.
good.
See, the buckle, that hit
no
different.
buckle.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
That buckle shit. is different.
And she's been arrested 2 times prior for excessive corporal
So
punishment.
why the fuck you call her to the school?
Because I ain't know what
Exactly.
Because they
you know
they
why?
giving
'Cause
her
they
custody
don't
back.
read,
Limited.
they don't read IEPs and they don't read your file. These staff members don't read your file.
Yeah.
That shit is in the file
Yeah.
So what?
that your mama be whooping on you.
Yeah.
Mike. So I wanna know, Mike. What is
If I could
your?
throw in a real quick interjection.
Yeah.
You whoop your kids too much, you're gonna be in the S&M when they grow up. That's real shit. I talked to somebody about it last week. It was like, I'm into it. Probably because I got whooped so much as a kid. And it was like,
so what are your thoughts and opinions and feelings on
all of them.
corporal punishment? On corporal punishment, especially like in black households.
For one, I don't think the white people want to understand that oftentimes black people beat their kids so that they don't, because they're afraid for them.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know what else to do. I'm sitting here. I have to go to work. You're going to be out here where the cops are going to do something to you, and I have to do everything in my power to make sure that you at least know how to act.
That's wow.
Another part of it.
That's a great perspective.
Yeah, it really is a holdover from all the violence that we've experienced here. I think that if you are being raised by somebody old, they whoop you because they can't chase you.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that in a lot of cases, parents aren't. And I don't have any kids. Kids are rough.
Fuck them kids.
Fuck them kids.
Fuck them
I don't
kids.
know.
Shout
I
out to
don't know.
Chloe.
I don't know what I would do if my kid was acting up. But I think that a lot of people, from my experience going to high school and watching people deal with their kids, is that they're not exactly emotionally mature themselves. So when they're mad, they hit anything, especially this kid that can't really hit him back that hard. I do think that in many cases it just teaches a kid. If a kid's too young to understand why they're getting hit, it just teaches them when you get mad at somebody, hit them.
You gotta hit them.
I'm gonna replicate the behavior I see. I once read an article about Inuit culture and how they frown upon even yelling at kids because they're like, you can't lower yourself to the level of a child. But all that being said, as long as you're not excessively whooping the kid, like you can put a kid over your knee and do this, and the kid will cry just as hard because what they're really crying about is the fact that you're mad at them. You're God to this child, and God is mad because you couldn't stop eating Skittles or like whatever thing you did. Hitting the kid with a belt buckle, that's extreme. That doesn't need to happen. Punching the kid.
I don't think she deliberately hit the child with the buckle, but he was struck with the buckle while getting whooped.
Yeah, and I think when y'all ever been whooped?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
That belt kind of slip a little bit. Your mama hand started sweating and the belt slipped.
Okay,
So
so
once she realized she
kids
hit,
that got whipped
once
in
my mama
circles.
realized she hit you with the buckle, you kind of like
stopped.
she stopped because she like, oh shit, that just went too far.
That's gonna leave.
Go cry in your room.
I want to jump in here,
Right.
and I think that there's nothing wrong with corporal punishment, but I think that you cannot whoop your child out of anger. You know who you tell I'm gonna break your face? Somebody that put their hands on your kid. You know who you tell you gonna break their face? Somebody that's attempting to take something from you. Right? You don't tell your child I'm gonna break your face, because whatever problem that needs to be fixed, that's not gonna fix it.
Now you got two problems need to be fixed.
Right. You got an undisciplined kid with a broken face.
I can't imagine. Again, I don't have kids. I don't know what it's like. But if the words "I'll break your face" came out of my mouth while I was talking to my child, I'd probably start laughing. I'm gonna break your little.
And I would have
Get out. Go to your room. Stop stealing candy.
And I look at because I went to a Christian school for grammar school. So you know, we went to school when the paddle was still in effect. So we all got whoopings from the teacher.
Are you in the S&M?
No.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yes, nigga,
You heard that? Yes,
No.
That was that yes pause.
I had to think, because I had sex with this older woman one time, and she was just like super aggressive, and I didn't like that. So yeah. But anywho, I think that when you discipline your kids physically, it's a very fine line, and I think it comes from more of our history as black people. So
America's been.
Did y'all see Antoine Fisher? The movie?
I did not.
So
I'm from Cleveland. It's required watching.
boom. So Mrs. Tate, who was a foster mother for Antoine Fisher, she would impose cruel and unusual punishment.
Tie him to a pole.
Yeah. Tie him to the pole and light some newspaper on fire and wave it at him like she was going to burn him.
Oh wow.
You know, this is corporal punishment. Telling your kids you're going to break their face, beating them in front of their class and calling them a nigga. Now, this is how I feel about that part in particular, right? If I'm raising a young man, I know how fragile male confidence is.
Right.
And if you take your son's dignity not only in front of a classmate, but in front of a woman that don't look like him, that don't look like his mama.
Right.
You doing some kind of permanent damage to that kid, because not only is his class gonna ride him for the rest of the school year,
the rest of his life, people don't forget
People
the
don't
shit
forget
that they
shit.
did.
yeah,
I
he's
still
gonna
remember when Kevin peed in the chair. That was the
Damn.
pee-pee chair. Nobody
he's gonna
said it
see
the
life
rest
from a
of the
different
Right.
perspective. I remember when when Arlo's mother, when we was in 5th grade, she came in and towed a man down in front of the class. Like, man, we never will
You'll
forget
never
that.
forget that shit.
Yeah.
I will never forget. She came in with the belt behind her back and whoop ya, like granddad on the Boondocks.
Rest in peace,
Yeah.
John Witherspoon.
Yeah. So I mean,
Did
I
you
really
go to the
think
service?
I really wow.
I did not.
TC.
I wish I would have went.
Today, maybe you just wore it.
I really think if you're gonna be disciplining your kids physically, you shouldn't be doing it in the school.
Yeah.
But I
Wait till we get home,
mean-
and I'm gonna tear your ass up.
I can understand.
But at the same time,
Breezy's point that like
she
you fucking
did
up
say,
here.
"Yeah, I'm gonna
I'm gonna
embarrass you.
in
You
front of
But-
all
embarrass
the
me."
but
little
wait,
friends
wait,
you
wait,
trying
wait.
to entertain.
But I'll beg
Right.
I'll
But at
beg
the
to
same
ask,
time-
what does that solve for the child? You getting retribution for yourself.
Yeah,
bro, you sitting here
Yeah.
looking
What do you
tough.
solve for
You
the
prob-
kid?
Yeah.
You in here fighting these kids. You antagonizing these kids. You not as tough
So
as you
whooping
think.
them in
So
front of
I'ma whoop
everybody,
your
is
ass
that
and
making
show
it
you, you
better
ain't
or
gonna
worse?
If he can beat those kids
But-
up, he's just gonna beat them up worse now.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Like now he's gonna take all that anger.
Because
But
they're
that-
gonna
and direct it at the
antagonize
kid
him.
with the limp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And who benefits from that?
But to your point, that ride home is
The scariest ride of
stressful.
your life.
Because you know what's coming at home.
Mhm.
Because it ain't no teachers and no security guards at home.
Mm-hmm.
You finna get the full force.
No holds
Yeah,
barred.
true.
It's-
Rage in a cage, hell in a cell.
It's
It's
wild.
ridiculous.
Personally, I'm not big on like. I'm all for whooping the kids,
Yeah.
but I'm also very big on like communication.
Yeah.
And I speak to my kid, and I'm like, I speak calmly, and I'm like, hey, like, you need to do this, you need to do this, you can't do this, you need to stop
See,
doing this, blah blah.
And that's why that
If
ride
I gotta
home.
keep telling your ass like, it's a
See,
whooping,
Yeah.
Right,
And
we
that's-
had this
and
conversation
that's why
before.
that ride home
Yeah.
is so stressful.
cause I
Because
done
it
told
ain't
your ass
no
1,000 times.
words.
And you
finna
working
get
everything
in
through
this
in your
car.
mind.
Yeah, you finna get in this car. I ain't gonna say shit to you.
Ain't no radio.
I'm finna get out the car, unlock the front door to the house, look at you. You finna walk
And
up
I'm gonna
these
be
stairs.
calm. I'm gonna do everything I gotta do in the
Yeah.
house, and I'm gonna whoop your ass.
Boom. You hungry?
Until he started talking to you with that
Alright.
Jason Mitchell voice.
Oh
Like,
yeah,
people-
yeah.
People gotta realize a lot of times, like,
you
these parents.
Dad? Is
Exactly.
I didn't get a lot of whoopings, but the ones that I did get, they are seared into my brain
Man.
because of the methodology. That wait till we get home, or you get in trouble. She don't say nothing and let you simmer on it for some days.
Man.
about to say
Yep.
the worst is when they forget.
You know it's coming, but you don't know when
Be
or
mad
where.
at you. First of all, they be mad at you when you let them forget.
I'm gonna get vulnerable like
You gonna let me
just-
forget the
tell
ass
you,
whooping?
Whoa, ho! Somebody else is gonna be vulnerable for the first time.
Alright.
Thank
Tone has
you.
been vulnerable since we got in this
I was about to
bitch.
say, I'm
So-
pretty
He
sure I'm
left the
always-
house like this. This nigga is vulnerable.
So it was.
You
a
know this
girl.
nigga was smiling in the mirror, fixing his tie and
Hey,
shit.
I put deodorant and cologne on today.
You look like Adam
Which
Sandler
one
in
do
Punch
you
Drunk
usually
Love, my
not
nigga.
wear?
That's hilarious.
I usually don't wear deodorant because I get bumps under my arms and shit.
Oh, you just
And
gotta wear
it's-
different
it's
deodorant.
painful.
That
Let's-
Erica Badu use.
Let's not deter from his vulnerability.
All right.
All right.
So one day I went to school and this girl had some really big boobs. She was like a 7th grader. I was like in 4th grade.
We had one of
She
them
had
too.
the biggest boobs
She
on
probably
the bus.
weighs like 400 pounds now. I'm sorry.
But,
I just
but
In
somebody
where I'm
dared
from,
me.
That's
you know?
how the development went.
Like somebody dared me to run up and grab her boobs. So I ran up to her and I grabbed her
you was wearing your
boobs.
Stacey Adams on your head.
Stacey
And she
She
beat
heard
the
this
fuck
nigga
out of
coming.
me. Like
Uh-huh.
the 7th grade girl.
Oh, the girl.
She beat the fuck out of me.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I got to school,
7th
got
grader
in
with big
trouble,
titties, she was heavy-handed.
and
All that
my
sweat.
mama had to come pick me up from school.
I hope your mama beat the skin off of you.
Nah. She was like, go upstairs. I went upstairs, sat on the piano bench. I looked this way. I looked that way. Here come my mama with no shirt on and motorboated me.
Oh!
She said, you want some fucking titties? Here, these are fucking titties. I was like,
That's vulnerability. That's vulnerable.
Embarrassed
Rest
the
in
shit out of
peace.
this
Wow.
Rest in peace, mama.
Man.
That's hilarious. That means she went in her room and lost her shit for a second.
Right, she was going nuts before she came out. Like, fuck it. He want to play? Let's play.
I didn't know she was coming to your school. Like, what the fuck I'm gonna do?
What can I do?
I'ma do?
Upstairs.
She probably had to laugh about it after, like this little dumb nigga don't need no.
That was probably like your family telling your mom telling your family about you jerking off. She was like, you know what the fuck I did to him? Oh, you want to grab some titties, huh?
Man, I was scarred, man.
That's hilarious.
I was definitely scarred.
That's you got to be a Hannibal Lecter parent.
It wasn't even and like
Process it.
I got whoopings. I got the paddle. I got the belt. I even got hit with a skillet one time.
Your mama whacked you with her titties.
Yeah, like she didn't raise a hand at me at all.
Yeah.
But the action scarred me
Oh man.
harder than a belt buckle.
But I grew up with a healthy fear of my mother, and I didn't get a lot of whoopings. It was just when all right. So it all go back to the fault with do as I say, not as I do. So your parents can say that all they want.
Oh, yeah, it's not
But
gonna
one
happen.
thing about kids, they never gonna do what you. They might do what you say sometimes, but they're always gonna do what you do.
Say, they don't do what you
Always.
say while you're looking.
You know what's crazy about that is that in language, the only reason, like scientists cannot figure out how children learn their native language. Like they just see everybody else, like they match the words to the actions. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So even the
Like
act,
a dog.
yeah, even the act of learning a language is doing as you do.
Yeah.
Right.
The fact that your child knows how to read and do math is because you know how to read and do math.
Exactly.
So they're doing as you do,
Mhm.
not as you say. And the only reason they understand what you say is because they did what you did to learn the language.
So for me,
mirror.
I never seen my mom be bad. I never seen my moms get angry. I never seen my moms yell, right? So when I did something that I didn't see her do, being bad or whatever the situation was, my mama would yell. My mama would be mean. She wouldn't hit me as often, but just the fact that she was so out of character scared the
Enough.
shit out of
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
Like looking at
I
my guy.
broke my mama.
Yeah, like man, what did I do to you? I'm sorry.
My mother had, and mind you, my mother's a very sweet woman. She's the sweetest woman in the world. But I would piss her off, and she would use her thunder voice. I knew when she walked in the house, and she was like, "God damn it, Michael!" and be like,
Yeah.
like, "Oh shit, she found it."
Blood curdle.
Whatever it was.
Yeah, I do that. And sometimes I get sad when I do it, because
you lose your shit for it.
Because I'm the parent that talks.
Yeah.
I'm the one that's like, come here.
That's another thing.
I mean,
What
when you
did you
care
do?
about your kids, nothing hurts more than hurting their feelings.
But like when I'm like, hey, put your shoes on. Put your shoes on. Put your shoes on. He's like, and he gives me that
Yeah.
full body shake, stiffen up. It's like, damn, I didn't have to do that for that.
I bet.
I could have
Right.
just went and put his shoes on. But he's
Yeah.
5. He should put his own shoes
I'm
on.
going
But at
through
the
that.
same time, I could have just put his shoes on him.
Did you
And
have a
not
suit
yelled
on
at
when
him.
you did it?
Right, because if that's the case, then you couldn't put his shoes on
He
him.
probably mistook
'Cause
you for
could
Judge
barely
Mathis.
put your shoes on. I feel like you
He's
put
like,
your
"All right,
shoes
Your
on before you put them pants on.
Gangs, drugs, I was there.
I know a crackhead.
First, you had to pull your socks way up to your knee.
Right.
Hey, man,
Put on the little thing that keeps your socks up.
I didn't put too much thought into the socks today. If I would, probably would have worn a different color socks. I didn't realize
gonna-
how. the
Are you just
socks-
wearing white socks right now?
No, I'm wearing Super Mario Brothers socks right now.
I'm wearing Predator socks.
Hey.
High five.
I got on Jordan socks.
I got on beach socks. Yeah. All right, so I'm ready to get out of here, man.
You sound like it, man.
Hot in here. Look at the window.
Look, so
It is.
let's
Damn, we did that.
Saw that nigga. heat.
let's keep the
That's this motherfucking,
that nigga heat.
motherfucking, that shit coming from under his suit.
That's that chitlin circuit suit, boy.
It's like
Man.
a Dragon Ball character.
Damn.
Look like you
It's
you manage
coming
a
about the condom light.
look like he managed a blues band.
Yeah,
That's one of them ancient condoms.
they call it
That's the
Galactic
Galactic
Condom.
Magnum.
Egyptians use it.
Man, so have y'all heard about SPAC Nation?
I'm scared. What?
SPAC Nation?
Is it a
Sound
suit
like
gang?
some man.
Is it
No.
porno?
So it's like a church
Your church?
for like
I'm sorry.
for like ex-drug dealers and street workers.
Told you his
and,
ass preacher.
you
in
know,
prison.
and it turns out this shit's like a cult, and
Of course
like
it is. It's a
people
church.
are like
Church is cool.
dying, and like they're like moving people into these houses, and it's like, yeah, like people are killing each other for SPAC Nation, and like
I believe it.
I don't know, it's so weird. I was like, I found out about it on Twitter yesterday.
Okay.
Then
Cults
I just
are real,
I
and they're
deep
everywhere.
dived into it, and I was like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
How are these people getting caught up in this shit? You know?
Yeah.
And then I guess the last
They
thing I
ran
want
into
to
the wrong
say.
guy with a suit. Some dude in the suit was like, "Let me change the course of your life, brother."
You ever had communion, brother?
Oh, that's funny.
Man. And I guess the last
Feed
thing I
him
want
some
to say,
bean pies. I'm sorry.
it was a little kid, man, 14-year-old, got shot sitting in the car with his mama outside of Von Steuben's homecoming on Thursday or Friday night. Thursday night, I think it
I
was.
think I heard about that.
That's fucked up, man.
Always
You in the
hearing
car
about
with your
kids
mama
getting shot. Yeah, man.
at your high school homecoming.
A stray bullet. They were trying to shoot his mom.
Yeah, see, I don't know. I
Yeah.
don't know anything.
That shit's crazy.
Damn
Yeah.
sad.
Let's talk about what we've been listening
But-
to.
But I
I'm sorry. I don't want to dismiss anybody's death, Pastor.
So the last thing I wanted to talk about was the hazmat situation
Yeah,
on the
yeah,
red
yeah,
line
yeah.
this morning,
Mm-hmm.
right? I feel like Chicago is all about murder. You know what I'm saying? Like if it ain't a murder,
Murder.
they not gonna put it in the news. Like what if this was an actual terrorist attack that they foiled, like a terrorist plot that got foiled on the red line between Grand and
Men in
Chicago?
Black style.
We gotta let y'all have some French talk, man.
But since it's Chicago, they're like, no, we're not gonna talk about a terrorist, a possible terrorist attack.
We don't want people to
because-
freak out. We're just gonna
Mhm.
tell them
Yeah.
there was some.
Yeah,
We had
it's
to do some
just
heavy work
hazmat.
that required
But-
hazmat suits.
But if somebody gets shot in the face, we're gonna put that all over the news.
Oh,
We're
yeah.
gonna put that on the news
your
in
face off.
Seattle. You know what I'm
That's,
saying? We're gonna put that on the news in Miami.
That's
Suit your
making black
face
people
off.
look bad. They love that.
Shoot your face off. Suit
So
your
suit
face
your
off.
face off. All right, so let's get from out of this dark place.
You got shoulder pads.
Hey man, yeah, it's been sitting in the closet for a little while, so it's got these little.
16 and 17. Yes, sir. They shall hunger no more, neither shall they
Hey man, that's 2
Preach,
weeks in a row,
preacher.
man.
shall wipe away. Yes, sir. Every tear from their eye. Yes, sir. Get ready
For what?
for the revolution. What you say?
All right, that's it. All right, now that we're back up,
All we know,
sponsored by Pastor Ferrier over here.
I went from principal to pastor.
Let's
you go.
close like we always
Hey.
do.
However, I'm in the building.
There it is.
You're the principal of the building.
They used to call me anonymous.
You
Now
are
they
the
call me
fucking
Batman.
building.
So Mike Stidham, give us some music that you've been listening to this week that our viewers need to listen to.
All right, so this is not what anybody's gonna expect me to say. I watched Watchmen on HBO.
I
and
will be
heard
watching
this
today.
song.
Mhm.
I there's a song called "Chemical Burn" from the Fight Club soundtrack that I listen to a lot. Like I listen to music scores sometimes.
Love it.
And there's a song called "How the West Was Really Won." According to my iTunes, I have listened to it 379 times by now because I just put it on and go do stuff. Like
How
it's
long
not even
is
like
it?
I said, like less than 3 minutes.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
No, but I just put it on repeat because I'm like, I like this. And I like to get out of the shower and hear this song. You know?
How the West
Is
was
this
won.
Trent
How the West was
Razor and
really won.
Atticus Ross?
Yep, Trent Reznor of Nine Inch Nails.
Oh, I said Razor. Resner.
Yeah, so
Okay.
he's not a wrestler.
Trent, Summer Sam Butter, Trip Razor's guy. Okay, let's get a little bit of that.
I love this song, and it fit the scene that it was in so well.
Somebody want to sit next to Mike?
This is what you want to hear when you're getting out the shower.
Man, sound like a nasty shower.
Steam coming out behind me.
This how Tone was staring. This the song he was playing when he was staring down his suit.
Sitting there correcting
Standing
the time.
there in his little wife beater.
He smelled
With
that
his
Stacey
trousers.
Adams. Okay.
Sprit deodorant.
Moving right along.
I know that nigga did like this after he put the deodorant on.
TC.
Get the bumps. Because he know they come. Tootsie Roll, little ugly ass boy.
Ooh, shit.
Damn. She is on fire, man. On
Don't invite
fire.
TC to your wedding, boy.
No.
Oh,
Boy.
my gosh.
Hey.
TC,
yeah.
what you been listening to?
So, I've been listening to the Nipsey Hussle playlist that Tidal has.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I've been listening to my homie's track. It's called No Problem at All. My homie Key1 and my other homie Merk. KE #1. And then Merk MERC, Make Every Rhyme Count. It's called No Problem at All. And it's super banger. And at one point there's no problems in front of me. Like the Lord got it. And that's that speaks to my whole life. So
Where can they find this music?
Apple Music.
Mm-hmm.
SoundCloud, Apple Music.
Men's Warehouse.
And Tidal. I listen to everything on Tidal, so I just have to make sure you can find it on Tidal.
All right, TCB.
So,
Anonymous.
speaking of Merk, our friend Merk
Murphy. Shout out to Merk.
says he's never been to Pequods.
Merk has not done a
I've
lot
never
of
been to
things.
Pequot.
My ex worked in Pequods.
All right.
Shout
I
out
know
to
you've
him.
been to Pequods.
I'm about to
Well,
Yeah,
you took me to
Pequods.
Pequods for the first time. I still haven't eaten their pizza before.
It is
So
delicious.
yeah, we had shrimp and grits.
At
Right.
Pequods?
We barely got out the house. Shout out to our brethren to the south.
Yeah,
Bro life.
Mm.
We showed them a horrible time because we were stuck off of shrimp and grits.
Yeah,
Next time y'all come, man, we partying on empty stomachs.
yeah.
Okay.
Man.
Yeah.
And so us as the Faculty Lounge podcast got to get Merk Murphy to Pequods, man. So Breezy can also try Pequods for the first time,
Yeah, man.
and you. 'cause
Whenever we
you
bring up
haven't-
food here, I get on my laptop and I look it up.
go straight to it.
Literally on
Very,
Peacock.
very, very.
So,
I know somebody who works
Is
there. I
there a
can't remember
Pequod
their name
song?
off the top of my head.
So what I've been listening to, I've been keeping in Chicago.
okay.
It's Lucky. You know, he signed the shirt at Complex Con.
Uh-huh.
He just dropped the album, and he got a big ass billboard right here on Chicago and Grand.
Yeah.
Days before 3.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's.
I've been seeing that billboard. I feel like you don't see that kind of promotion no more.
He's on Empire Records now.
All right, Empire, they do it way grande.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
What happened? I
and Reese
zoned
them.
out for like a solid 5.
Mm-hmm.
Reese them only on the weekend. He just dropped the album.
Mhm.
That one's a little better than Lucky. You know what I'm saying? They're both not really my cup of tea. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I had to give them both a shout out because they're both from the Chi. They're both from out west. These are two West Side artists.
Nice.
We got Reese and them only on the weekends. If you ask me, in my opinion, about that album, it's the first project that I think Taylor Bennett has a better verse than Chance the Rapper on it.
Really?
Yeah.
Because I've tried so many times with Taylor Bennett.
Yeah, it's
It's just not there for me, man.
the Club Up.
Okay.
If you want to, throw that on the Club Up,
The
it's
Club
a
Up.
it's a pretty cool song.
Okay.
And Taylor Bennett goes in, like he makes me proud.
Hmm. He's proud too.
Hey,
Yeah. All right. So I told y'all earlier, I've been on the hip hop journey, taking my son to hip hop school, and I stumbled across an album I forgot about that's gonna be on my best of 2019 list. That is Eve from our good sister Rhapsody. And I'm gonna play a little bit of Cleo, and
Yeah.
I'm gonna ask a question. So y'all hear this sample? This is Phil Collins in the air tonight, right?
Yeah, dude.
I would like to ask, who did it better? Meek Mill on Championship or Rhapsody on this song? All right?
I don't think I've ever heard that Meek Mill song.
Oh, wow.
Mind you, I've missed a whole lot of music over
Yeah,
the
right,
past
right, right. You
10
told me.
years.
Yeah, but I'm happy for Rhapsody because this is a huge step up from her her previous project, and lyrically, man, she got some weapons. Like, I'm not really that big into female MCs. Only a few of them that I really listen to on the regular. Rap is one of them, And
Now
salute to the
was-
queen, man.
Was Rhapsody the one who had all the girls with the what are they called, the head?
The doobie raps.
No,
The Badu raps?
the Indian the the Middle Eastern Muslim.
Hijab.
Yeah, she had all them, and then she had the Jaguar with the MCM seats in a video. Is that?
I'm not sure.
I feel like that's a Rhapsody song. But that video was cool. She shout out to her.
Okay.
If that was her with the green Jag with the white MCM seats in it.
Yeah, so I was listening to her, and then I listened to some LaKaylee 47. Yeah, listen to some female hip hop. That's what I've been listening to. But
all right.
yeah, this has
Respect
been
that.
episode 70. I'd like to thank our vivacious guest, Mike Stidham,
I am vivacious.
coming through and chopping it up. Thank you, TCB, for keeping the laughs going.
Always.
Anonymous, burn that suit.
Oh, hey, man.
It's a good suit.
It's a great suit.
Anonymous has committed to playing dress up for the rest of the year.
Yeah, I'm working on it, man.
So
I've
guess
been
what?
hitting that thrift store.
Nice.
And it's going to be colorful.
These jokes gonna keep coming.
All right, so look, make sure y'all follow us on Instagram and Twitter at The Faculty Lounge. I am at Chicago Fog.
At Anonymous, ENONOMOS.
At _ somebody breezy and at West London Cobain for the fashion.
Hey, TC hates when you spell your name.
But because it's not anonymous, it's Enonomos.
There is a
Yeah.
purpose.
Yeah.
There is a purpose. Mike, you care to share where they can find Blur.radio or you personally?
My personal account, which just has a bunch of art on it, and maybe 2 pictures of me, at Black Mike Stidham, STIDHAM. It's Black Mike because there's a white man named Mike Stidham who paints fish. I'm not him.
Wow.
I'm
Wow.
not that guy.
He paint perch or catfish.
Hey, speaking
he
of
really does. If you look it up,
speaking
it's a
of
variety of fish.
black versus white, y'all remember I had to tell y'all that white Michael Jordan is actually
Yeah.
who funds
Yeah.
prisons.
Yeah.
Black Michael Jordan just made fucking hospitals that are going to serve people who don't have fucking insurance.
True
He's
that.
not what was it, Sodexo?
I don't know.
Didn't he own him and
That's
Magic
Magic Johnson. I
own-
didn't know Mike was in that.
I don't know if he is. I can't say that for sure. But they're the ones that provide food for prisons.
But that's today's fun fact.
Yeah.
Nice. Also, Blurred.radio, BLURDDOTRADIO. We are on Instagram, SoundCloud. We'll be on tonight at 7:30 with Kevin Fair and Cheest Love. I think it's Cheest.
And
Cheist? I don't know.
and
With that nigga that's gonna show up.
yeah, he'll be there. He'll say his name.
and don't
He'll
forget
say his
to
name.
check out my episode of Blur.radio as well as the Faculty Lounge podcast episode of
You
Blur.radio.
don't really got to check that one.
It is a
was
never-ending
fun. It was
tangent.
fun.
Yeah.
Anonymous took his shirt off. It was great.
He did.
Oh,
Yeah, we did
And didn't even
push-ups.
take it off. We did push-ups. He
Oh,
took his shirt
yeah,
off
I
to wipe
remember
up
the
some beer he
push-ups.
spilled.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
remember those
That's the
push-ups.
last
Good.
thing you remember.
Maybe that was it.
Yeah.
Maybe the blood went to my head and it was just like, bloop.
Yes.
I'm
Malort,
I'll
makes
tell
you
it was
retort.
Definitely very funny.
Yeah,
And
but,
shout out to our
It was a great
sponsors.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
They're
yeah.
slowly
Shout out to
coming
the
for sure.
Chicago Sinfonietta and others. If you'd
Yes.
like to speak to us about sponsorship opportunities, hit us up at facultyloungepodcast@gmail.com.
Who sponsored all these goldfish?
We are.
We won't talk about where those came from.
The
But goldfish are
boss.
abundant.
They fell off the truck.
You know, they ran out of communion crackers, so Pastor Ferrier brought these over for us.
Who is Ferrier?
You are a
man?
blessing,
Grape
man.
juice.
You are Ferrier, nigga. No, so check out our YouTube page. That's youtube.com/Faculty Lounge. Our SoundCloud channel. That's youtube.com/Faculty-Lounge. We're also on Spotify. That's Spotify and a bunch of letters. I don't know those letters, but we're gonna try to figure that out for you one of these days. I swear it. Make sure y'all tune in next week. Go back and check out some clips. Check out some past episodes. We got a gang of them up. We got some funny shit. Got a clip
Got
show
some
coming
serious
soon.
shit.
And we got some serious shit, man. As serious as that suit, which is as serious as a heart attack.
Man.
This fucking,
So with that,
this nigga got his suit from the stretchy department. Like
Damn.
this motherfucker.
Wait till I
Elastic-
stand up. You know
Elastic
what?
Man suit.
Hey, die. She touched my thigh.
Uh-oh.
this
You
all
shut
this
this
is
thing
over.
down.
Damn it, Jason Mitchell.
So look, with that, what time is it?
Hey,
Time to get to
back
class, young man.
Time to get back to the students.
Double salute. Thanks for listening and
Yeah.
watching. Peace.